somewhere in your home's file, there's a number. It's what appraisers, inspectors, and buyers agree your property is worth, and that number moves up or down based on very specific things they see when they arrive. Some of the biggest deductions to that number happen before anyone even walks through your front door. They happen in the front yard, and most homeowners have no idea which specific features are quietly pulling that number down. I'm not talking about taste or style. This isn't about what looks nice. This is about the specific structural, functional, and safety issues that appraisers document, that inspectors flag in writing, and that buyers subtract mental dollars for the moment they see them. Today, I'm walking through 15 front yard features that instantly kill home value. The last one is the single most expensive one on the list, the one that quietly costs homeowners the most in real appraised value. Let's start with number 15. Number 15, overgrown shrubs blocking first-floor windows. Foundation shrubs that have grown up past the windowsills are one of the fastest ways to lose valuation on a front yard. Appraisers note the reduced visible facade. Buyers see a smaller, darker home from the curb. Insurance inspectors flag it as a security risk because overgrown shrubs create hiding places near ground floor windows, which affects underwriting. The fix is 15 minutes with hedge shears. Cut the shrubs down below the windowsill line. The house instantly reads as larger, lighter, and better maintained, often by thousands of dollars in perceived value. Number 14, mismatched exterior light fixtures. A brass porch light next to a nickel garage light. A modern lantern next to a dated coach light. A bronze finish above the front door. A chrome finish next to the driveway. Buyers register the mismatch immediately, even without knowing why. Appraisers note the inconsistency in their comparable home reports. It reads as a home where individual pieces were replaced over time without a plan. Two coordinated fixtures cost between $50 and $200 total and instantly upgrade the perceived quality of the exterior. Number 13, weeds growing through driveway cracks. Not weeds in the lawn, weeds coming up through the concrete or asphalt of the driveway itself. This one signal tells every appraiser and every buyer that the driveway hasn't been maintained in years. Even if the rest of the property looks fine, the weeds through the driveway read as deferred maintenance across everything else. A weed and seal treatment costs under $20 and takes an hour. Pulling weeds and applying a concrete crack sealer reverses this issue almost entirely, and the visual improvement to the driveway is immediate. Number 12, a leaning or cracked mailbox post. The mailbox at the curb is the first thing every visitor passes on the way to the front door. A leaning post, a cracked plastic mailbox, or a rusted hinge instantly signals a homeowner who has stopped caring about small details. Appraisers extend that assumption to the rest of the property. Buyers register it before they've even parked, and the mailbox is often the single most photographed detail of the exterior in listing photos. A new mailbox and straight post costs under $100. Fixing this is one of the highest visibility, lowest cost improvements you can make. Number 11, bright red dyed mulch. The bright red mulch signals budget cosmetic cover-up to anyone who understands landscaping. It fades to a washed-out pink within a single season. It doesn't build soil the way natural mulch does. And it's a strong signal to appraisers and buyers that the beds aren't being professionally maintained. Natural dark brown or black shredded hardwood mulch reads as intentional and expensive. It costs roughly the same per cubic yard, and it makes every single plant in the bed look richer, healthier, and more considered. Number 10, cheap plastic solar path lights. We're now in the top 10. A row of tilted, yellowed plastic solar stakes flanking the walkway is one of the most consistent value killers in residential landscaping. They tell buyers the lighting was chosen for price, not effect. They age visibly worse every single season, and by year 3, most are broken, dark, or cracked. Two high-quality LED path lights or a proper low-voltage wired system reads dramatically better and costs less over a decade of ownership. Quality lighting is one of the most reliable signals of a well-maintained property. Number 9, dead or dying foundation plants. An empty spot in a foundation bed where a plant used to be. A brown, half-alive shrub still sitting in position. A stressed young tree that never took root and now lists slightly to one side. Buyers see these instantly. Appraisers document them as evidence of failed landscaping investment, and each one drags down the perceived quality of the entire planting bed around it. Every dead plant should be either replaced within the same season or the spot fully removed and mulched over cleanly. Number 8. A cluttered, cramped front porch. If the front porch has more than furniture, plants, lights, and a mat, it's cluttered. A folded camp chair leaning against the wall, a garden hose looped over the railing, a stack of Amazon packages that hasn't come inside, kids' toys, a broom. Buyers register the clutter as neglect, even if the porch is technically clean. Appraisers note it in their first impression columns, and every non-porch item on the porch subtracts a small amount of perceived quality from the property. If this list has been helpful so far, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. The next 7 items are where the biggest valuation losses actually happen. Number 7. A faded, chalky front door. The front door is the most photographed detail of any home listing. A faded, chalky front door where the original color has oxidized into a dull, washed-out version of itself quietly ages the entire property. Every appraiser notes it, every buyer registers it in the first 2 seconds of arriving, and every listing photo it appears in reads as slightly dated. A $20 quart of high-quality exterior paint and 1 afternoon of work reverses this entirely. It's one of the highest return maintenance projects in residential ownership and one of the fastest. Number 6. Uniform builder-grade foundation shrubs. The row of 6 identical 3-gallon shrubs planted in a perfectly straight line along the base of the house. This is the exact planting every builder installs on a new home. Every appraiser and every buyer has seen thousands of them, and they read as the property has not been landscaped since it was built, even if the home is 20 years old. Removing 3 of the 6 shrubs and replacing them with taller specimen plants and lower flowering perennials instantly makes the foundation bed red as intentionally designed. Number 5. A cracked or stained driveway with visible repair patches. Cracks running across the driveway, dark oil stains under where a car parks, a patched section where an old repair was made in a slightly different shade of concrete. Every appraiser walks the driveway. Every inspector notes it, every buyer sees it during the first walk-up, and driveway repair is expensive. Buyers subtract real dollars for it, often more than the actual cost of the repair itself. Pressure washing, concrete stain removal, and sealing the surface costs a fraction of full replacement and reverses most of the visible damage. Number 4. Mulch piled directly against the siding. Mulch stacked more than an inch or 2 up against the base of the siding is one of the most consistently documented issues in home inspections. It traps moisture against the wall. It creates a direct highway for termites and carpenter ants into the wood framing, and it appears on the inspection report every single time. The fix is 1 afternoon with a rake and a wheelbarrow. Pull all mulch back so there's a clear inch or 2 gap between the mulch line and the siding. Nothing else in this list is easier to fix. Number 3. Downspouts dumping water directly next to the foundation. Look at where your downspouts drop water. If they empty directly onto the ground within 2 feet of the house foundation, every inspector will flag this, every appraiser will note the moisture risk, and every buyer will subtract mental dollars for the potential foundation damage. Downspout extensions cost under $15 each and take 15 minutes to install. They should direct water at least 4 to 6 feet away from the foundation, ideally further. This one small fix reverses the risk almost entirely. Number 2. A large tree planted too close to the house. The mature tree whose canopy is now touching the roof, or whose trunk is within 10 feet of the foundation. Roots reaching the foundation, branches scraping the roof and shingles, storm damage risk, insurance concerns. Every one of these shows up on inspection reports, and every one translates to dollars deducted from the appraised value. Sometimes the answer is professional pruning to reduce the canopy risk. Sometimes the answer is removing the tree entirely and replanting further from the house. This is the one item on the list where the cost of the fix can be significant, but the cost of ignoring it is always more. And now, number 1. The single most expensive front yard feature to have on your property when you sell. Number 1. Visible standing water or grading problems near the foundation. This is the item that costs homeowners the most in valuation. Standing water pooling near the base of the house after a rain. A dark, damp stain on the foundation. Soil grading that slopes toward the house instead of away from it. A soggy, low spot in the lawn near the foundation line. Every inspector documents this. Every appraiser flags this. Every buyer subtracts thousands of dollars for what they assume sometimes correctly could be an active foundation problem. The fix depends on the severity. Minor grading issues can be corrected with a few cubic yards of soil regraded to slope away from the house. Serious drainage issues might require a professional French drain system. Either way, the money spent solving this is dramatically less than the money lost by leaving it visible. If you fix nothing else from this video, look at your foundation the next time it rains. What you see in that moment tells you exactly what buyers and appraisers will see when they arrive. So those are the 15 front yard features that instantly kill home value. The overgrown shrubs, the mismatched lights, the driveway weeds, the leaning mailbox, the red mulch, the cheap solar lights, the dead foundation plants, the cluttered porch, the faded door, the builder-grade shrubs, the cracked driveway, the mulch against the siding, the downspouts near the foundation, the tree too close to the house, and the standing water at the foundation. All one of these translates into real dollars off your home's appraised value. Some cost almost nothing to fix. Some require professional help. All of them are worth resolving before an appraiser, an inspector, or a buyer sees them. If this video changed how you'll walk through your own front yard, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't seen my video on the 10 front yard upgrades that add the most home value in 2026, the other side of this equation, where you actually gain valuation instead of losing it, that video is on the screen. Watch it next. See you there.